Hello, guys, and welcome back to the day 4 of our deep learning workshop. I hope all of you are enjoying the journey so far. And over past 3 days, we have built a strong foundation. On day 1, we understood what AI is, what machine learning and deep learning are as the subsets of AI and neural networks. On the second day, we explored the mathematics behind learning, including vectors, matrices, the activation functions, and the loss functions, along with the gradient descent. On the third day, that is yesterday, we opened up the neural networks and understood the perceptrons, the weights, the biases, how the propagation happens forward and backward. We also understood the differences between epochs and the batch sizes. Today, we move into one of the most exciting fields of artificial intelligence. And the topic is the computer vision, teaching the machines to see. Before we begin, let me introduce myself quickly. My name is Sahil Sawant. I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from VIT, and I am currently pursuing my Masters in Computer Engineering from VJTI Mumbai. My primary interests include artificial intelligence, deep learning, signal processing, machine learning, and data science. Also remember that this entire course is available on Ingiverse. Simply sign in, watch all the sessions, complete the final quiz, and earn your certificate. Ingiverse was created to help students with placements, GATE preparations, and semester studies, technical interviews, along with the practical skill development. Currently, we are self-hosting more than 8 technical courses along with premium notes and look at the photograph. Recognition happens almost effortlessly. We see a friend, we recognize a car, we identify a road, our brain performs effortlessly. But you have ever wondered how a machine sees the same image? This particular slide shows the transformation. On the left side, we have the biological eye. On the right, we have an artificial system. Notice the stages. The input is entering, the information is getting processed, the features are being extracted, then the patterns are recognized, and lastly, the predictions are generated. The machine is not actually seeing it. It is converting the visual information into the mathematical representations and learning from the patterns from those numbers. Computer vision is essentially the science of turning images into data and turning that data into understanding. Computer vision allows the machines to understand and act upon the data. Think about how often we use computer vision every day. Your phone unlocks using your Face ID. When hospitals analyze X rays, it includes image processing or computer vision. When satellite monitors forests, rivers, and cities, it is using computer vision. These slides highlight three major applications: the face recognition, medical imagery, and the satellite imagery. The underlying principle still remains the same. An image enters, the system extracts the information from the image, and lastly, the decision is produced. The only difference is the application domain. Now, let's connect it with the third day that we have learned. Until now, we understood how the neural networks work. They are excellent for numerical data, but images are huge. Imagine a simple image of 100 by 100 pixels. That's already 10,000 inputs. For larger images, the numbers becomes more enormous. Traditional neural networks struggle to understand spatial relationships. They don't naturally understand the edges, sharpness, textures, or the patterns. And that's why a special architecture was developed: the convolutional neural networks, or CNN. The CNNs are designed specifically for image processing, and today they power almost every modern vision system. This slide is perhaps the most important one in the today's lecture. This is the complete CNN workflow: the image, the convolution, the ReLU, pooling, dense layers, and lastly the predictions. Everything a CNN does can be summarized using this pipeline only. The image enters, the features are then extracted. The important patterns or the visualizations are retained, and the unnecessary information is then reduced. Actual knowledge is combined at the last, and we get a final prediction which is generated. By the end of today's session, you will understand every stage in this particular pipeline. And this is the most important mindset shift in the computer vision. When you see the digit 8, you see a shape. A machine does not. Every pixel has a value. A machine sees a matrices of numbers. For a grayscale images, 0 means black and 255 means white. Everything else lies in between. That means every image can be represented as a mathematical matrix. Remember the second day where we discussed about matrix? This is exactly where they appear. Computer vision is nothing more than matrix processing at massive scale. Moving on, now comes the heart of CNNs, that is the convolution. This is where the learning begins. A small filter is called a kernel slides across the image. As it moves, it performs mathematical operations. The goal is simple. Find useful patterns. Like for example, edges, corners, curves or textures or even lines. Instead of memorizing every point, the CNN learns meaningful features. The result is called a feature map. Think of convolution as detectives searching for images for clues. The better the clues, the better are the predictions. You might also remember the ReLU from the day 2. Today it appears again. ReLU stands for Rectified Linear Unit. Its behavior is simple. Negative values become 0 and the positive values pass through. Why is this particular thing useful? Because it produces a non-linearity. Without ReLU, CNNs would only learn linear relationships. Images are far more complicated than just straight lines. The faces, roads, animals, medical scans all require complex pattern recognitions. And ReLU gives the network the ability to learn all these patterns, and that's why you need to see the ReLU. ReLU is almost every modern CNN architecture using. Now after the extraction comes pooling. Pooling reduces the image size. Why do we need to use this? Because the images contain enormous amount of information. Not all of it is important. Pooling keeps most dominant features while it discards the unnecessary details. This provides two major benefits. First is faster training and the second one is less computation. Think of it like summarizing a chapter. You keep the key ideas and remove the repetitive information. Pooling performs exactly the same function for the images. Students often confuse these two layers. Let's clarify them. Convolution extracts the information, whereas the pooling compresses the information. Convolution asks whether the pattern exists or not, whereas the pooling asks what information is important. Convolution improves the accuracy and pooling improves the efficiency. Both things are essential. Without convolution, the network cannot identify meaningful features, and without pooling, the training becomes computationally expensive. Together, they form the backbone of CNNs. At this particular stage, CNN has extracted useful patterns. But how does it make useful decisions? This is where flattening and the dense layers appear. The feature maps are converted into long forms of vectors. This process is called flattening. The dense layer is the one that analyzes all the extracted features altogether. It combines the evidence, the edges, shapes, textures, patterns, and produces a prediction. At this stage is very similar to the neural networks we studied in the third day. The only difference is that the CNNs have already done the feature extraction beforehand. Now, at this slide, it shows beautifully illustrates how the CNNs learn. First, they detect the edges. Then they combine edges with the shapes. Then shapes become objects. This hierarchy is exactly how humans also recognize things. For example, a CNN looking at a car doesn't immediately recognize a car. First, it detects the lines, then the circles, then the windows, then the wheels, and combining everything, we get the image of car. And finally, this is a car. This layered understanding is what makes CNN so powerful. Let's summarize today's journey in short. First of all, the image enters. The convolution is the one which extracts the feature. The ReLU or activation functions introduce the non-linearity into our features. The pooling reduces the dimensionality, and dense layer combine the learned information. Finally, the predictions are generated. This is the complete CNN pipeline. Notice how everything we have learned across 4 days is connecting back together. The day first gave us the AI framework. The second day gave us the mathematics behind it. The third explained how neural networks learn. And today, the fourth day showed how those neural networks process an image. This is the foundation of modern computer vision. And tomorrow, we are finally going to implement all of this using writing a code and by building a handwritten digit recognition system using the CNN. Today, we have learned what computer vision is, how machines interpret images, and why CNNs exist. We also looked into the convolutional layers, ReLU activation functions, pooling, and feature mapping, along with the dense layer and the complete CNN pipeline. Tomorrow, we will transform these concepts into a working AI system. We will train our CNN on handwritten digits and allow the machines to recognize these numbers just like how the humans do. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. If you enjoyed today's lecture, do not forget to like this video and share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel. Leave your questions and doubts in the comment sections and also explore Engineverse for recording, certificates, premium notes, quizzes, and future technical courses. And if you like to learn more, visit Sahil at Work YouTube channel where you will find the content on algorithms, data science with Python, microcontroller and processors, signal systems, and much more engineering topics. Thank you everyone. I will see you in the implementation session where we build our first computer vision application. Happy learning and happy coding. Bye.